So this one over here is a late game player actually, and I think it's quite interesting to talk about this one. The previous time when we did the review, we came from a more of an angle of like, how can this account be better? But instead, this time around, let's come with a different angle of looking at things. Some of us have been playing for 1 year plus. At this point, vertical, horizontal investment, which is the direction that we go for. There are many things that a late game player needs to consider, because most important is if you are playing for the long run, which you already probably have been, you want to keep your account constant with the least amount of money you spend, so you can actually pull for like the characters that you want, rather than like having to chase the hottest fashion and everything as well. So very, very massive account. We have an E2 Firefly, we have an E2 Akirion. Of course, this person is a late game player, has been playing for a really long time, a monthly pass and battle pass account, so not like super massive large spender. They pick a Firefly main DPS and they pick an Akirion main DPS. This team confirm cruising. Like there's no way this team will be struggling right now, but I guess from the angle that it was a false alarm was coming from is wanted to know how do they retain this account strength in the long run. Current main teams are Akirion, Firefly, Able, not interested in zero cycles, just prefer to auto clear, so looking for comfort, value for pulls, wondering where to like spend resources next and what to do with Stellar Jades. Should you go for horizontal or vertical investment? Do you need another limited sustain? Sustainless died to Hule on first attempt. And of course, wanting to know whether you want to double down on DOT follow-up attacking, because like very heavily invested into Break as well as Akirion Nihility teams. So wanting to know whether like diversify, which I think is super logical. And Sunday and Fucc teams as well. A lot of things to touch on, which I think especially if a player who has been playing for a really long time, these are all things like you and I probably are also like actively thinking of at the back of our mind too. Most easiest to actually talk about the future first. What other characters will I be looking out for these kind of team compositions? So first thing, how do you make these two teams better? Because that's the easiest thing like right in front of us, right? If you are looking for to make this better, Jiao Qiu looks interesting. At this point, you can like move Pella aside, replace it with Jiao Qiu over here, or of course you can like move away Fu Shen. You can put in a character like Aventrin who offers a lot more debuff in the last slot, and then your Akirion team is like more or less really good and really strong already. And for your Firefly team, currently based on the characters that we have, Ling Sha is probably like better than Gallagher in this slot here. So those are like two characters that I think will be value adding directly to your two teams. Probably would be Jiao Qiu, Ling Sha, as well as Aventrin. Three characters rather. But are any of these like 100% necessary? I don't think so. If you're already like easily cruising and like easy nom-nomming the end game content, I don't think it's like too much of a rush. So that's the first part, right? The second question then is it worth it at this point that he was asking also to double down into other styles of the game? Like since you already have like Robin, you already have a Doctor ratio, is it worth it to like shift into other verticals like follow attacking and other different team compositions too? I think that Aventrin is quite good, because if you have Aventrin here, you not only play into like an Akirion based team right here with Aventrin, you can put it here, but your Aventrin over here can also be moved into this team over here, right? You have Aventrin, you have Robin, you have Doctor ratio, and at the same time you can play with like a cheaper alternative, like maybe a March 7, maybe with a Mozer for follow attacking, while you wait for like a Fei Xiao rerun or another character in future. Maybe there'll be another character. So actually I think Aventrin adds quite a little bit of value for your account, because you have two teams to place him in right now. You can put him here, you can put him here as well. Ling Sha is like kind of similar. You can put her here in your team or Akirion, but this time you probably have to wait like super long also. So Aventrin I think is like the highest pick out of all of them for what you need for in terms of near-term value. So that is the first step. Like what is the near-term characters that I'm looking out in the future, and looking even further, right? Like even longer term. Characters that are interesting will be anything that value adds to your break teams. Like in 2.7, Sunday and Fucc, maybe. We don't have official information right now, but those are the nearest characters like I am looking out for in the near term to see whether it adds value to your account. So if any of them does some sort of break buffing, some sort of like exo toughness, double break buffing, some of them that gives you like more energy or whatever not, these kind of units are definitely very interesting and worth considering, because they not only play into these two teams that you might already have, but it could even spill over to future teams that want to like move on to other characters in the game. So two things that we talked about: if you must pull for a current character in the game, probably eventually adds the most value. 2.7 is where I will actually look to pull the plug next, and thereafter when we go on 3.0, more characters come out. That's the next thing that I want to talk about: power creep, and what happens if these characters no longer become relevant. Is it worth it now to like diversify out of these styles and get into anything else? I think honestly you have a very solid comp like E2 Akirion, E2 Firefly, And going further on, you asked a lot about diminishing returns, of whether it's worth it to like keep pushing your teams to make them even stronger. So you like double down in Jiao Qiu, you double down in like Aventrine, you get Ling Sha, you get all your characters, maybe all the brick characters that are coming out in future also. Is it worth it to double down on these styles, or is it better to like diversify out of the styles? To be honest, your account is very healthy. I think I will be considering, the first thing I have you ever encountered a situation where you were a little bit struggling with the Memory of Chaos, Apocalyptic Shadow, or even Pure Fiction? If you feel like something is missing, you're struggling in some sort of content, I would look to diversify out of the team compositions. Most players that are cruising in every single game mode now that I know of either have similar teams like this that are very, very super well invested, or they have a horizontal account with all three of their different styles. And it's not very expensive to do all three, right? Compared to other people like watching this video, you take away like a couple of Eidolons from Akirion, take away a couple of Eidolons from Firefly, you can pull one Fei Xiao, you can pull a Topaz and Nambi already, and they will still be like E2 and E0 respectively, because it's just like 2 Eidolons. So it's actually not hard to diversify into many teams. I find that actually E0 of every single character, and if you complete like the premium teams, does feel a little bit more sustainable in the long term compared to just doubling down a vertical investment at this stage of Honkai Star Rail. One thing that I do notice here that we did notice in the previous one is his Pella is level 70 here, and his Gallagher is level 75. One of the questions that I think he asked me offline was, does it really matter that like characters level 75 and 70? Because Pella only has like a little bit additional attack, a little bit additional ice damage coming from tracers. Is it really, really necessary to like min-max this particular unit so much? The answer, of course, is you don't think about it only as the tracers that you unlock. Firstly is you are getting as much value as you can off the particular slot, which means it alleviates a lot of pressure that coming from other characters in the game. And yes, chat definitely also has a point. Survivability is a huge factor. These are 4-star characters, which means that they naturally have like a 10% to 20% less base HP compared to 5-star characters in the game already. And if you have your 5-star characters at level 80 and your 4-star characters at 70, the HP differential is going to be quite massive between both of them, not only because of the base stat difference, but you have a lack of levels. So in fact, it's actually more important for survivability to bring your 4-star characters up, because when you bring your 4-star characters up to 80, the HP is still going to be less than your 5-star characters, maybe at like 75 or something in terms of base HP. So that's something important to consider too. And of course, as we are looking at these levels, one quick tip that I have is just level all your freaking characters to 20 and ascend them once. It only costs us like 3 overworld monster, don't even cost energy, and the books that you need is so little, but you get 16 standard pulls just by leveling your characters up to level 20 and ascending them for like basically overworld mats and like 20k credits each or something like that. 16 pulls. That's crazy. So do that. That's definitely like a huge priority that I think you should consider doing. No reason why they should be left at like level 1. You have an E2 Akirion with her signature along the passing shore. Your ratios, very nice. 66, 217, very, very fantastic already. Your gear here is very good. Crit rate of 4 rolls and crit damage here. This is like really, really good. I don't even have something as good as this. Like 32 freaking crit value. Very strong here. You have another like 28.9 crit rate, crit damage. Also very, very crazy. This one here is also like freaking amazing. It's like 30 CV already. So this is a very, very stacked Akirion. There's no way you're struggling with this. 275 break effect with 156 speed. Like, this is like way better than my characters on my account already. So very fantastic over here already. You have, these are crazy rolls. 1 roll into attack, you have speed. You have 3 rolls into break effect on your head. Your speed boots has 2 rolls break effect, 1 roll attack. This is also very, very nice. Let's take a look at your Gallagher's gear, shall we? 1 Trace is missing HP. It can help him with his chunky ability. He's at 3.4k HP, which is very, very squishy. So next one is your Pella, which is level 70. She's running like HP here. She's running like energy regen. But one thing to note is that if you're running HP here, you might as well just level her up to 80 and then like switch this over to like attack ice damage bonus or something. And then she starts becoming like a little bit more of a damage dealer, adds a little bit more to your overall damage. Not significant, but this could easily be like 4.4k HP, 4.2k HP, which helps out a lot with survivability if you are that worried about Pella being too squishy as well. So now gearing wise, I think the characters that you need to gear is 1, this one here, 2, this one here. Very easy choice. I think these 2 are your lowest hanging fruits. These 2 probably can be pushed up straight away. Let's see his stats. Okay, this is a bit small, but he's basically 12 starring everything. He is playing, he switches around for his team compositions. Sometimes he plays Jingliu Blade in his team compositions. Break is a solid character. He plays like he doesn't even play sustain in some of the team compositions. So he just tries to like burst them down in a APOC Shadow without sustain at all in his second half. First team still needs like a little bit of sustain, but you can see he's just running like a no sustain triple support into a Firefly hyper carry kind of team. So that's how he clears very easily into the end game content, in case any of you who are looking for a new play style to try. Memory of Chaos, a little bit different. He actually cares about sustain this time rather than APOC Shadow. He just goes full burst, right? Here he plays the team, exactly the teams that we were talking about. So he plays in this order the exact same teams that we thought that he would be playing. And sometimes he switches it around. He does like hyper carry on the easier floor, so he bursts it down, clears it faster and stuff like that, which makes total sense. Pure Fiction here, you are running exactly same team. So you're just like running the two same teams all the way, maybe switching out for like double, no sustain, taking out your sustain, and then like you're slapping on maybe a Robin. In that case, I can see why like you don't really feel urgency for Aventurine, because you don't even like play with sustains all the time as well. In 2 out of 3 game modes, you are not even playing Fushen or Japat. Should you try build PT or Lingsha Aventurine banner before Sunday and Fucc? No, I don't think you should build PT at all for these two characters. They are nice, but seeing your roster now, you don't exactly play a lot of sustain in the final node. Never build PT, but I understand your thought process. Like maybe you get lucky, you get Aventurine early, is a win for you as well. But not really worth it. I think these two characters, Sunday and Fucc, will be way better for your account. Because, I don't know, maybe they do something that might help out your account as well. Maybe they diversify into other rosters. They are a 3.0 character to look at in future too. So that's one angle that I'm doing it. The last one I think is like invest into DOT and Fuwa. So let's talk about that. The characters that you can consider pulling at all, if you even wanted to, will probably be these 3 characters. Because I have to use proxies. So I'll use an upside down Robin to signify her brother. And an upside down Tingyun to signify her altar. So these 4 characters are probably the ones that will be interesting to consider for your particular account, but no urgency for the bottom 2. I think the top 2 definitely look a lot more interesting. The last question for this account that I want to answer is, are there diminishing returns for you to invest? Because that was his main question into like horizontal progression right now in the game. I will look for pivotal supports. Pivotal supports as in good for your current accounts and good for other other team compositions that help you hedge the risk. So what is the biggest risk that you face now? New meta teams. What is the thing that you need most right now? Probably a little bit more of, you could improve your break tips. So anything that is an upgrade of Harmony MC, anything that is an upgrade of a character like Gallagher, who maybe offer you a bit more diversity into like other team compositions, that would be my first thought process. Because you not only improve your current teams, you hedge your bet moving into 3.x. Would it be worth it to like explore into DOT and follow-up attacking teams like Fei Xiao? The reason why I think like follow-up attacking is worth it for you is because follow-up attacking is a very strong team. It's one of the meta teams in the game. And I think in this patch, like the current meta, Firefly is like number 1. First half, she storms number 1. But Fei Xiao is very, very strong against Hule. DOT right now, I don't see visibility for the future. At this point, visibility is too low. It's too uncertain anyway. So DOT, I will take it out of my radar. Not a big concern for your account, especially since you're not invested in either of them right now. The one that is worth considering if you wanted to is Fei Xiao's rerun. So those are just my thoughts. And of course, thank you again so much for paying for this account review. We did quite a long one, I think, but I just want to go in depth for you to help you make a better decision moving forward. And thank you so much for supporting the channel, supporting our editors, doing hard work as well. And for all of chat that is also watching this and giving you advice on the side, I'm sure you found this video helpful. And for all of those of you who are watching this on YouTube, do click on these 2 other videos, which I think you might find interesting as well. And thank you so much for watching. Check us out on Twitch also. And if you are wondering how do you get these account reviews, just post it on r/EODGamer on Reddit. You might get your account review. I can't do everything, but I'll try my best. If you want such like personalized guides uploaded on YouTube, do DM me on Discord. And cheers. See you guys in the next video.